one of the most passionate members of our community. Salome hails from the west coast of South Africa, close to the west coast, from a little place called Van Reinsdorp, which is in the what we call the Knechtsvlakte, a unique area for its gravel plains, its succulents. It's tiny little succulents that grow there and pretty much nowhere else. So apart from that, there's all sorts of other biodiversity that occurs in this fascinating area close to the Atlantic Ocean. Salome, thanks very much for agreeing to share the special things of your area with us this evening. So over to you. Would you share your screen with us?
Yes. Hello. Good evening, everybody, and yes, welcome to Botuin, even though it's virtual. Van Reinsdorp is about 300 kilometers from Cape Town, and it's about 400 kilometers from the Namibian border. So it's not really a destination. It's always just a stopover en route somewhere. But the birding here is quite spectacular, and we have quite a lot of birds that you can get in the Karoo National Park. We can get here, especially in recent years. We've added a lot of birds to our to our list that normally just came was only in the Karoo National Park, but now like Karoo Eremomela, we get here. Black-eared sparrowlark we get here. So I'll share the screen and I'll show you some pictures. We are very lucky in that we have different biomes close together. So to the west, we've got the Strandveld, we've got the ocean, we've got the estuary, we've got the river, the Olifants River, and then we've got succulent Karoo, we've got a little bit of Nama Karoo, we've got Renosterveld, and we've got fynbos on top of the mountain. So that is makes it gives it a lot of biodiversity. It makes it unique. We have a lot of special birds and stuff here, as you can see. So recently, since 2014, we've started the Namaqua Bird Club, and we have added about 255 species to our list. So, which I think is pretty amazing. Some of the birds have extended their ranges like this. Can everybody see this? This is the African red-eyed bulbul. We used to get the Cape bulbul, but these days we now have this bulbul, and then ended its reign into Namaqualand since 2014, the African red-eyed bulbul. And then this is the black-chested snake eagle that we also see very often these days. The black-headed canaries, they only come in here during the winter months or when there's enough vegetation. So not very often. I'm just going to go through these. This is the Burchell's Quarter. They're nomadic to our area, and thank you, Coris, for the photo. We've had a large group of about 15 birds here this season, so every year they're getting bigger and bigger, which is very nice. This is the double-banded quarter. They are resident and endemic, and gorgeous little birds. You just find them all over. The dusky sunbirds, they also come in after the rains, which is about August, September. They're very abundant here. The yellow-bellied Eremomela. Thank you, Coris, for your photo. I asked her for some photos because I don't have pictures of all the birds. Then this is the greater kestrel. I don't know if other people have noticed, but this year we've had quite a number of greater kestrels in the area. It was really, very noticeable. This is the Karoo cat. It's also one of the endemic species here, and we find them very regularly every Saturday when I go. And this bird, after 3 years of atlasing now, I think I can now call them residents in the area. It's a small group that we have, the Karoo Eremomela, which I'm very happy about. Very special little birds. They're up towards Kliprand area. There's a good spot for them now. Karoo Koran, one of my favorites. Early morning drive, you hear cock, 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 all over. Very special little birds. And then the Karoo lark, also endemic to our area, I think. Very, very common here. Ludwig's bustards, we have them in quite a big numbers. They roost here at the Musker Mountain, which is very nice. Ludwig's bustard, the Namakwa sandgrouse, and the Namakwa warbler, which is resident in the garden. Yes, I'm happy to say that the pair that have nests here in the garden now having them and chorus, which I'm very happy about. Olive thrush, this bird is not very common, but we have seen an influx of them. These days, we don't just get the Karua thrush anymore, we get the olive thrush now. And then the pale-winged starlings, always special to see them. Pale-tongued goshawk. Cape benderline tit, two of the smallest little birds in the area, Cape benderline tit and the fairy flycatcher, which I don't have a picture of. This is the bird batters. Thank you, Coris, for the picture. And the rufous-eared warbler. These birds are very commonly found, you know, they've further south. So I think we're now the most further south range for some of these birds. This is the spikefield lark and the track chat. I don't have pictures of the black sparrow larks, but they've been recorded in the area for 2 years now. So very special birds. And then I will just show you quickly. Botuin, this was the view this morning, crossing the road from the gate. So Botuin, we've got a garden with lots of acacia and we've planted indigenous trees, but it will take time to grow. But we've got the swapper trees at the moment, but the birds kind of like it, and we've got quite a few birds in the garden. So we are farming with olives, and we have 3 cultivars: Kalamata, Mission, and Frontoyo, which is what the cottages are named after. This is Frontoyo cottage, can sleep 4 people, and then we've got Kalamata cottage, sleeping 3 people, and this is the main house, and this is Mission, which can sleep 2 people. So they're all self-catering units, and yeah, as I said, you can see the Namakwa warbler in the gardens. You're all welcome to come and visit. Thank you. And sorry for the trouble with the pictures. Thank you very much. Okay, are we done now? Can you still hear me?
Thanks, Salome. Wonderful. Would you like to do that again for us, a little bit slower this time? Thanks. Oh, okay. Thanks so much. No, I think it's probably a combination of you know, just feeling that you know, we were behind on the scheduled time, but yeah, you went through those pictures quite quickly. I think particularly for those folk who perhaps don't don't know the birds very well, or not at all, perhaps. But nevertheless, are there any questions for Salome? We do have some time. If there are any questions, sorry, perhaps Itaso, if you can go through, or just to have a look. I've been chatting to Les as well. I'm just having a quick look to see if there's anything there.
I have a question for Salome.
Go ahead, Liesl.
Thank you. Thanks, Rick. You've mentioned the changes. How long have you been birding in the area? It sounds like these changes have actually happened over a fairly short time period.
Yes, Liesl, I started in 2014, and only in 2015 did I notice the red-eyed bulbuls, as a matter of fact. So it's not that long, it's about 5 years now. And as I say, as you've birded, the Birchall's courses are only in the area now for about 3 years. The black-eared sparrow larks for 2 years, and the Karua eramomula for also 3 years.
Yes, because I saw a clear difference. I think I last visited in 2016 and then now again in 2020, and just in 4 years' time, we saw quite, I would say, a bigger variety of species in your area, which we didn't see 4 years ago. So it was quite noticeable that it has changed.
Yeah, definitely. It's they're moving south and west. We even have the red-headed finches in the town now, so which we never had.
And it might also be because of the drought in, what you call, is it not the Karoo area, like the Brandfly area? Because I've had drought now for, I think, about 7 to 9 years.
Yeah,
So some of those birds might have moved south and west.
Yeah, that's very true. They might have. So the redlocks can also come now. I would love that.
Yes, exactly. So the whole central area, I think, of South Africa, because of the drought or more a drier climate, I think the birds have moved.
I agree with you, Diesel. I think we've had good rains this year, and you could notice that there are a lot of birds around.
Sorry. So when Francesca Little did her PhD quite a long time ago, early 2000s, on SABAP1 data. So Francesca was actually, her prime interest was medical statistics. So this analysis of the bird atlas data was something she just did for her PhD. It was just a means to an end. But she did the most amazing project. And one of the things that we looked at was where lots of species were coming to the end of their ranges. And the Knersvlakte is one of those areas where species are as you go from the south towards the north, there are many species that occur in the Western Cape, in the Cape Town area, which fade out at or around Van Reinsdorp, Knersvlakte. And then there are many species like the ones that Salome has shown us tonight, which start from that point northwards. So one of the things that I really pushed with in the early days of the Atlas was actually getting really good data from that area, because that's where we're going to anticipate seeing changes in ranges with climate change and droughts and things like that. So Salome, you are kind of strategically placed. And your initiative to turn the Knersvlakte green, which meant getting at least 4 checklists, SABAP2 checklists for every pentad, was an amazing thing in terms of its long-term contribution to understanding changes in distribution. Okay, so there's my sermon for tonight, and then I can say welcome to Colin. Colin has just joined us, so we do have a second speaker. And possibly, if we can squeeze it in, even a third, because Kate has offered to do, Kate Braun, an impromptu talk. So Rick, over to you.
Great, thanks very much, Les. And
Rick,
yeah, Salome, yes, please.
There was a question from Zandre Pelser about any records of large birds of prey. So we have jackal buzzard, we've also got the Varroa's eagle, martial eagles in the area. So those are basically the big, large birds of prey.
And black harriers as well, smaller birds of prey, but yeah, that's a lovely one.
Yeah, black harriers as well. Okay,
great.
Thanks, everyone.
Thanks, Salome, and keep up the excellent work. Fantastic.